Hey guys, my name is JonDefon and welcome back to RuneScape, episode number 9 of series Combat Level from 3 to 1 to 6 in 30 days. In this episode I will be getting 110 combat level and I will let you know exact time it took me to get it. Also, this episode is dedicated to talk about Nightmare Zone gear, weapons, armor and potions. In the background you will see me getting a few levels like Hellbro and the rest. That's to make it more entertaining for you to watch, because of course you don't want to see me just training in Nightmare Zone the whole time. But don't worry, I'm training most of the time, just sometimes making these trips to bank, to Grand Exchange to get the supplies and so on. I would like to start this episode talking about Nightmare Zone gear and potions I'm using. So when I was looking for a setup which would be cheap, easy and quick to obtain and give very good bonuses for prayer and of course offensive bonuses, I decided to use proselyte armor and the items that I'm gonna talk about in a second. So yeah, I wanted to focus on a good prayer bonuses because prayer pots cost a lot, so you don't wanna waste those. Getting a good gear for extra +1 strength might also be very expensive or just very long, for example like completing a whole recipe for disaster quest just for the Barrows gloves, or for example getting the fire cape. So yeah, what I got was fast and cheap and also reasonably good, because I would rather spend time training when it's very limited instead of questing and getting the best items. Because yeah, you can have the best gear, the max gear, but it might just take too long to get, and in the meantime you can be getting your experience for combat. So I decided to go for the combat experience instead and maybe have a little less strength bonuses, for example. And of course it makes it more of a challenge to get 1 to 6 combat in 30 days with not the best offensive gear. But it's not like I chose but it's not like I chose to have bad gear. It is because I can't afford it at the moment. Of course, because the time is very limited, I don't really have time to spend on getting the cash, the best gear. So yeah, that's my situation. So for the head slot I chose one of the mirtes to use. So I chose a Guthix, but it doesn't really matter which one you pick, because it provides a prayer bonus of +5 and it is the highest prayer bonus of any equipment worn in the head slot. Also, the Guthix mirte I'm using is only 62k in the Grand Exchange, and you don't need any quests, any tasks to be able to use this item. For the body slot I chose proselyte hauberk, or just a plate. It provides best in-game prayer bonus for the slot and it is +8. That is why I completed the slug mace quest. For the legs I chose proselyte causi, or just legs. It provides the best in-game prayer bonus for the slot. It is +6 prayer. And of course I also needed to complete slug mace quest to be able to wear this item. For the boots I chose dragon boots. They are pretty cheap in Grand Exchange and also gives +4 strength bonus. Now for the gloves, not many choices I had, because you can either complete recipe for disaster quest to get Barrows gloves, which are the best ones to use, but I chose to use combat bracelet. It has no extra requirements to use. Costs only 20k in the Grand Exchange, and combat stats very comparable to those of mithril gloves from recipe for disaster. In the cape slot I'm using Saradomin cloak. Also this item, why I chose it is because no extra requirements for it, just buy from Grand Exchange for around 200k and it gives +3 prayer bonus. In the shield spot I'm using Dragon Defender. Not much to explain about this choice because it has probably the best in this spot offensive bonuses. Now on the next slot I chose to go cheap with Amulet of Glory. You can also use whichever amulet you can afford, and of course Fury Ami gives a lot of good bonuses. Now for the ring slot I'm using again cheap, easy and fast to obtain. So it is Explorer's Ring 1 for me. It gives +1 to prayer bonuses, and you need to complete easy tasks from Lumbridge and Raynor Diary. There are also better rings for completing harder tasks, but they also give only +1 prayer, so it's not really worth it. And again, in here you can use whichever better ring you can afford. Now in the ammunition slot I chose Ancient Blessing. It is only around 15k in Grand Exchange and also gives +1 to prayer bonus. So yeah, to sum it up about the gear, this gear I'm using is pretty much the basic gear. You can get it quite cheap, fast and easy, and it's probably the minimum you should use in the Nightmare Zone. And of course, if you can, go for the better bonuses. It will give you better experience per hour and you will get those levels faster. In the weapon slot, use Whip. It requires 70 attack to wear, or Abyssal Tentacle for better slash and strength bonuses if you can afford it, but it requires 75 attack to use. It is created by combining a Kraken Tentacle with an Abyssal Whip. The Abyssal Tentacle has +8 to slash and +4 to strength, more than an Abyssal Whip. Also has a 25% chance to poison your opponent for 4 damage. This also makes it have the highest slash bonuses of any one-handed weapon in old school RuneScape. When using the items on each other, there will be a warning message that states that Tentacle will gradually consume your whip and destroy it. You won't be able to get the whip out again. The combined item is not tradable. Now the special attack for the Abyssal Tentacle consumes 50% of the special attack bar, just like on the regular whip, and it will also bind an opponent for 5 seconds, as well as increasing your chance of poisoning them. Well, this special attack is not really useful in Nightmare Zone. Due to volatile nature of Kraken Tentacle, the Abyssal Tentacle degrades as it is used. After 10,000 hits with the weapon, it is 400 minutes of continuous combat, it will degrade and consume the Abyssal Whip, leaving the player with the Kraken Tentacle. As of an update on 31st March of 2016, players can combine the charges of 2 Abyssal Tentacles. For special attacks, use Ancient Mace. It helps a lot to prolong your trips in Nightmare Zone, and that is how you make even more points per trip, to cover the costs of prayer potions and entrance fee. If you want to get fast experience and don't care about lasting longer in the minigame, you can use Granite Maul or Dragon Dagger and just use infinite special attacks when yellow power-up shows up. To the inventory, I also take 12 prayer potions and the rest is overloads. With the Ancient Mace I usually use all overloads and end up having 1, 2, sometimes less prayer potions left at the end of the trip. I checked my age with hands in the Lumbridge again, and right now I am 110 combat level with all my stats that I got. It took me exactly 14 days, 11 hours, 54 minutes so far. 89 strength, attack, HP and 88 defense. So yeah, still a long road ahead to get those 99s. I pretty much used up half of my time and still a lot of experience to get maxed. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and as always, I see you.